It is no surprise that jealousy causes damage in relationships. But is it reasonable to think that your partner should modify their behavior to accommodate for your jealousy? And is it possible to control jealousy? So if you are a jealous partner, or if you are in a relationship with someone who is, this video is for you, because I'm going to outline 5 strategies that can help them to overcome this. My name is Janelle Fraser, and I'm a relationship coach, and I specialize in intimacy and communication. Please be sure to give this video a like if you like the topic and you want to see more videos like this, and please subscribe and hit the bell to be notified, because I post new videos every single week that I think you will benefit from. So if you've already experienced the damage that jealousy can do in the relationship, if you're in a place where sometimes you walk on eggshells around your partner not to set them off, or you've changed who you are and how you show up so that your partner doesn't get jealous, that can cause a lot of tension. That then we just feel disconnected or withdrawn or shut down from our partner. So if you're looking to reinfuse your relationship with more intimacy, better communication, and more connection, definitely grab my free training, because you guys can go through it in the comfort of your own home to get new tools and new skills to reinvent and recreate a better relationship. So let's dive in. First thing I want to share with you is why this happens. So here's the thing. Jealousy happens because something happens outside of us. We see a behavior or an action, or we create one in our mind, and it basically triggers, I'm going to call it a button inside of you, the jealous partner, that is basically the button of their insecurities, the button of their fears and doubts and worries and beliefs about themselves. So what I want you to understand about jealousy is that most of the time, it's not a reflection of something that your partner has done or is doing or shouldn't be doing. It's actually a reflection of you. It is a reflection of your insecurities and your fears. And so I want you to consider that there is an insecurity, a hole, a wound that you have to take responsibility for changing. And to project that onto our partner and suggest that they need to do something different, it's like that's not going to fill that hole. And that's why you might have experienced that even when your partner does change behaviors, you become jealous about other behaviors, or it might help a little bit, but not entirely. This is your opportunity. Jealousy, I want you to work and I want you to dance with it as an opportunity for growth and to become the person that you've always wanted to be, versus letting this external thing control you, because you can change all the behaviors outside of you that you want, but if this still belief or wound or insecurity about yourself is still present, it's going to basically create different ways to impact your life. If it's not this avenue, it's going to come up in another way. So first things first is, what is the insecurity? What is the belief you have about yourself? What is it that you think about yourself that then makes you experience the jealousy? So the jealousy is just a symptom. I want you to go to the source. So with that being said, that moves us into the second thing, that jealousy is not your partner's problem. I said it. Your jealousy is not your partner's problem, meaning you don't have the right to suggest that they are causing your jealousy. And I'm gonna put a little disclaimer here, is that most of the time in loving and respectful relationships, our partners are not doing overt things that are necessarily making us jealous. They're not doing anything wrong. They're not cheating. They're not lying. But we create stories that may suggest otherwise. So what happens when you bring your jealousy to your partner and you sort of make it mean something about your partner is that they automatically have to get into the position of defending or justifying, and it's like that right away pulls a connection away from you, because they're in a defensive and a justifying scenario that act like you can't share your jealousy with your partner, as an example, without them either explaining or defending. And then they're just explaining and defending actions that they do not need to explain, that are not really the issue. And so that's why point number 1 is so important, is we need to talk about what the actual issue is. I think a lot of couples, they circle around jealousy and never get anywheres and don't make progress with this issue because they keep talking about the acts and what was done and, you know, how it made them feel and should you not do that and how you can change your behavior. It's like, that is not the problem. You need to go to the source. And so just remember that jealousy is not your partner's problem. Rather, go deeper into what is the insecurity inside of you. And of course, I'm talking about specifically relationships that are respectful. So the third thing that's really important, stop bringing jealousy to your partner. Stop telling your partner about all the times that you feel jealous or when you do, because automatically, like I mentioned, they have to go into an explanation or defending. But it's like, it makes them start to feel like they're doing something wrong. And it doesn't matter if you say, oh, I know, you know, this is just me. I'm just sharing this with you because it's how I feel and, you know, you should know. Or no, they shouldn't know, because it's a burden and a weight on them. And it's unfair because it's not about them. And so it's essentially, you know, you bringing it to them, to me, is a lack of you taking responsibility for that this is yours and that they are doing nothing wrong. And even if you bring it to them, but you say you're doing nothing wrong, it just kind of erases it. Like, you bringing it to them suggests that they need to do something about it. And the reality is they can't do anything about it. So stop bringing it to your partner, and you need to take responsibility for it. The fourth thing, don't ask your partner to modify their behavior, because it's not about their behavior. And here's something even additional that I want to add. Some of the very things that we want that make us jealous, that when we see our partner interacting with other people or when we see them doing that might make us jealous, are actually some of the very behaviors that we ultimately wish that our partner would do with us and for us. So one of my specific examples personally was that I used to always attract people in my life who were jealous. And I have naturally a very playful, and someone might call it flirtatious, but I get deep with people, I can have conversations, and I can, you know, connect with people quite easily. And so that always was an issue in relationships. But time after time, having my partners bring that to me or express that I was doing something inappropriate when I was just being myself, not only were they not loving me for me, but eventually I started to actually believe that that behavior was wrong. So I stopped. So I stopped connecting, I stopped flirting, I stopped being playful. Well, then what was the very thing that my partner wanted from me? You're not playful anymore, you're not flirtatious, you know, it's like, it's hard to have fun. And well, yeah, because we would always fight over that. So then I stopped and shut down that part of myself. And so that was my responsibility for choosing to shut down that part of myself. However, in relationship dynamics, this is what can happen, is that after you have an argument so many times about something that is innately who your partner is, but is an insecurity that it's bringing out in you, you're missing the growth opportunity for yourself. I believe you've attracted each other and that personality type, not to change them, but to embrace them and to fill that void or that whole wound inside of yourself. But also, you may eventually change the very things that you love and that attracted you to your partner in the first place. And they may naturally do that to accommodate you and to keep you comfortable, but that doesn't really help you in the end. And so your partner's playfulness, openness, flirtation is something that you want to encourage and celebrate. Yes, it can be respectful, and yes, you may have, you know, limits around what's right in your relationship. However, I think it's really important to recognize that you can shut down your partner entirely. I know people who, as well, clients I've worked with, who stop really wanting any sort of sexual connection or interaction because it's like they're constantly in a state of defending themselves or justifying their behaviors to their partner because the jealousy is just out of control. So they just start to pull back and feel disconnected. So if you want a little bit more of a perspective on this, I will link a video here about overcoming jealousy and why you should encourage and celebrate your partner flirting and interacting with other people. Okay, so the fifth thing I want to share with you is jealousy how do you handle it in the moment? So you don't bring it to your partner. What do you do instead? I used the word when I was writing my script out was to swallow it. And what I mean by that is that you need to contain it and keep it within yourself, not bringing it to your partner. Jealousy happens, like, you feel it in your entire body and in your nervous system. And so in a moment where you're feeling jealousy, where you might text them or say something to your partner or make a comment or sort of create the story about what it means for you, you need to notice the jealousy pop up in the moment and sit in it. Because we feel it's almost like an uncontrollable need to tell our partner how we feel, or to like stop ourselves from feeling that way. So we try to manipulate our partner's behavior. So you need to get comfortable feeling and sitting in the jealousy without bringing it to your partner. Feel that jealousy, feel the experience, and that is one of the best ways that you can, the first point that I mentioned is to figure out what is that insecurity within you. This is one of the best ways to figure it out, is because when you sit in it and you don't try to run from it, you can actually face what it is that you believe about yourself, what it is that you get to heal and move through, so that you can become the person that you're meant to be anyways. So in a way, you could thank your partner for being themselves and you experiencing the jealousy. Now, what I definitely recommend is having a friend that is an empowered friend who gets it, who gets the change you're looking to experience. He's not going to reinforce that what your partner is doing is wrong or bad or you should feel that way. That's not helpful. Or a coach. If you want to book a session with me or have a coach, I'll post the links below, where we can actually navigate this so that, yeah, you're not bringing it to your partner, but you're bringing it somewhere that's empowering for you to work through, find your learnings, find how you can take responsibility and how you can transform this, versus blaming it and making it about your partner and therefore shutting your partner down and creating more disconnection. So I definitely recommend you need to sit in it, you need to be with it, that's where you learn from it, and then you also need to work through it with either an empowered friend or a coach. And I would love to support you and navigate that journey. You can book an individual session or a couple session at the link below. Now, the final thing is, I'm curious, when do you feel jealous? I know I still feel jealous sometimes, but it's an opportunity to learn and for me to grow, and I don't make it about my partner. I don't try to change their behaviors. I try to lean in to what it is that I need to learn or get from this experience. So I would love to hear from you below in the comments. What makes you jealous? Thanks for being here, and be sure to subscribe and like this video so that I can keep posting more videos like this, and it really helps for people to get to see this work who need it. Make it a great day.